We ready to do this? You're listening to KRUI in Iowa City, 89.7 FM on your radio, krui.fm to stream online. My name is Justin Comer. This show is called iHearIC Radio. It's all about local music and local art of all shapes and sizes. Today, I'm starting a bit later than I anticipated because I was just at my home recording a podcast with my good friend Jonah Elrod, which will be available sometime soon on the iHearIC Patreon. If you know what that word means, you probably know where to find that. I don't want to get too much of a sales pitch going on the radio. It's probably illegal, right? All right, for the radio show today, here's what the agenda is going to be for everybody. First part of the show till about 3:45 or so. So the next half hour is going to be a recap of a concert that we had Friday night at the Java House, which featured performances by Katie Senn and Abby Kouri, David Clair, MK Break, the aforementioned Jonah Elrod, and closing out with Christian Cripe and Quinn Miller. I've got some recordings here that were recorded live at the show on Friday, and I'm going to present a few of them to you here on the radio today. It's going to be a good time. You're going to get a little taste of what we all experienced on Friday, and if you enjoy the taste, you can have the full meal somewhere online sometime soon. And then, once I've completed the concert recap, we're going to have a special guest, Phil Maul, also known as Maul of America. That's M-A-U-L. He's going to be joining us for the second hour of the show. How often do you get a double-length show, everybody? Not that often at this place, on this show. But we're going to talk to Maul for, another hour or so. Find out what's going on in his head, what he's got going on right now. It's going to be a great time. I don't want to talk too much at the beginning because we don't have that much time to get our recap in. It's going to be brief, I think, today. Let's start it up with one of the songs that Katie and Abby played. This is called Basement Stove, and it's an original by Abby Kouri herself. Again, this was recorded Friday night at the Java House.
Sometimes it must be said, I need you to rest my head, and I need you broken fences inside our heads, and we find our helping hands. Somewhere nature laid waste to her own plans, time after time. We are alright, we have every day but just right. Make some time to it, well, don't worry about it. Make some time to it, well, don't worry about it.
That was Katie Senn and Abby Kouri. Katie on the cello, Abby on the vocals and guitar there. You just heard them playing Most of the Time. Before that was Basement Stove. Up next, I'm going to play a few minutes of David Clair's performance at iHearIC on Friday night. David's one of my best friends, and this is him giving us some improvised music on his keyboards. He has a Korg workstation and then a Mini Moog Voyager. You'll hear a little bit from both of them. Just a little bit of his set. He played for about 17 minutes, and I'm going to give you about 5 right now. So we may revisit this again in the future. Here's David Clair. All right, I hate to cut that off, but we are a little short on time today. That was David Clair improvising on his keyboards there. If that piqued your interest, we will have a full video of his set up on the iHearIC YouTube page in about a week or so. You can also check out more of his music at davidclair.bandcamp.com. It's all great. I love it all. And we will likely be revisiting that set here on the radio show sometime in the future. It's currently time for a little weather report. Let me do this as briefly as I can. It's currently 3:32 p.m. It's cloudy outside. The temperature is 43 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like 37. I was just outside. It didn't actually feel that cold, so you may want to check for yourself. We've got 0% chance of precipitation with 49% humidity and 13 mile per hour winds coming from the north. We're going to hear a little bit more recordings from Friday night's concert right now. Up next is a recording of MK Break reading her poem Percussive Curdle. And if you listened to the radio show last week, you heard me read this poem, and I promised you it would sound better coming from her voice, and I was correct. So now I will be proving that to all of you listening right now. This is Percussive Curdle, written and read by MK Break.
Just let me have you already. Extend your milk like so I can drink from the tap, and I'll do that whole not surrender thing too. Your fickle and my facade negate our commonality of sledge. So, if we're going to be left clothesless and dehydrated, I'll drip, drip, drip my everything into your anything mew. We are a cat and a dog made for kicking. Hit me. You're breathing too loud. If I can't have it, I'll ferment you blind. I'll suck your teeth. I can't let me love you yet because you forgot about me for 2 days, but then you remembered me for 3. So if we can just get this thing exponentially going, then... And what was I saying? That your nourishment is rot if I can't have it. Honey sour if I can't have it. I said your drum is gum if I can't have it. Bang it and stick sticky and never get away until you give it away. Never gone until get gone. And gimme, gimme, crash, bang. Bang it, bang it, bang it, bang it.
Hey, all right. That was Percussive Curdle by MK Break. She read a few other poems on Friday night, and we will be hearing those on the radio show in the future, but not today, because as I've mentioned several times, we're a bit short on time today. Up next, I'm going to play a recording of Jonah Elrod's piece. I'm going to try my best here. Ambalangota, I believe that's the pronunciation. I'm sure he will listen to this show and correct me if I'm wrong. Wink, wink. Please tell me the truth, Jonah. And this is, I recorded this with the room noise. This is just an electronic fixed media piece here. So it was playing through the speakers. I could give you just the clean piece here on the radio, but I figured, this is about the live performance aspect here today. So I'm going to give you his piece on Balangota, along with all of the noises surrounding the performance at the Java House on Friday night. So you'll hear some chatter, you'll hear some dishes moving around, all that kind of stuff. Here we go, Jonah Elrod. That was Jonah Elrod's piece, Ambalangoda, recorded live at the Java House Friday night at the iHearIC concert, with a special cameo appearance by the Java House hand dryer in the bathroom. For those of you who haven't been there, the stage is right next to the bathrooms. so that little hiss there appears usually when we record shows there. That's all part of the fun. All right, I've got one more song I'm going to play for you for the first part of today's radio show. This is Christian Cripe and Quinn Miller performing an original song by Christian called Worry. And after that, I'm going to set the radio station to auto for a few minutes while I go downstairs and pick up our guest, Maul of America, for the last part of the show. All right, here's Christian and Quinn with Worry.
She told me not to worry and please try to hurry or you might just miss it. I told her not to worry, I'll be back in a while, I wouldn't just miss it. And then I tripped and fell, does her ring a bell? I told her not to worry and she just went and broke her heart. To me, always so unkind to me, and I know crying will make things better. I was so blind to her, always so unkind to her, and I know that I didn't make any effort. And now we gotta go and pick ourselves up before we finally say it's been enough. She told me not to worry, she'll be back in a while. She stayed with an old friend. Why should I trust her when love's lost its luster? She ain't no godsend. And then I saw her with him, things are looking grim. She told me not to worry and then she just went and broke my heart. Blind to me, always so unkind to me, and I know crying will make things better. I was so blind to her, always so unkind to her, and I know that I didn't make any effort. And now we gotta go and pick ourselves up before we finally say it's been enough. I told her I was worried of how our love is blurry. Where do we go from here? I knew what she'd say, she sought to betray, and rather I disappear. How could I know you reap what you sow? I should have been worried when I just went and broke her heart.
No means no. There's nothing that warrants rape. Just because she's drunk and can't answer, it's still rape. The Rape Victim Advocacy Program can help you if you've been raped with counseling, legal, and medical advocacy. Help is only a phone call away. The local rape crisis line is 319-335 6000 or call the RVAP at 1-800-284-7821 or go online at www.rvap.org. Help end sexual violence in Iowa City.
Support for KRUI is provided by Little Village. Little Village is Iowa City's independent, community-supported news and culture publication. Little Village's event calendar connects readers with critical cultural opportunities. Through journalism, essays, and events, Little Village works to improve our community according to core values: affordability and access, economic and labor justice, environmental sustainability, racial justice, gender equity, quality healthcare, quality education, and critical culture. Little Village can be found in print editions at local businesses in Iowa City, as well as online at littlevillagemag.com.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back. You're listening to KRUI in Iowa City. It's 89.7 FM on the radio, krui.fm, streaming online. Can you hear me okay in your headphones over there?
I can hear you great.
Great. All right, everybody. Welcome to the second half of iHearIC Radio. I'm joined now by special guest Phil Maul. Welcome to the studio, Phil.
Thank you.
He performs under the name Maul of America. It's M-A-U-L. I enjoy the pun that you came up with for your name.
Thanks.
I love it. Fresh off of his performance yesterday at Record Collector for Record Store Day, he has brought the same equipment here to the studio, so we're going to get to hear some of his live performance today. Phil, how was the performance yesterday at Record Collector?
It was great. I didn't make too many people leave out of the record store. Mm-hmm. I apologize before I started, but people seemed to enjoy it. And it was pretty busy, too. I mean, I think the record store had a really good day that day. That's good.
How would you, since you apologized to them, how would you describe the kind of music that you perform?
I guess to borrow a phrase from Insane Johnny of Wolf Eyes, I guess psycho jazz.
Okay.
Or synth improv. I'm not really sure. What I kind of picture how I do things is just music for horror movies.
Okay.
I guess that's the way it's kind of been described as spooky, and a lot of people gave me that. Some of the older folks.
Yeah.
You know, the ones. I'm a little old, but older than me.
Sure.
Like, ooh, in the band. I was like, okay, yeah, sure.
I've had similar reactions to my music.
Yes.
So I think we are on the same
the
general
same wavelength.
Yeah, the same general genre. There.
Yeah.
And what kind of equipment do you have here with you for the listeners?
Today we have a Korg Monotron delay. We also have a Make Noise O-Coast, Zero Coast, or No Coast, as it's called, kind of a desktop Eurorack piece. We also have a Gristleizer, which is the box that was made famous by Chris Carter of Throbbing Gristle, where he took a schematic from like a 70s guitar magazine for like a tremolo and overdrive, and kind of changed it and after he made those, he gave them to all the members of Throbbing Gristle. So when you hear that weird kind of tremolo, that's what you're hearing, is that things going through that box. And then an iPad, of course, because it does so much.
Yeah, it can do whatever you want, really.
Yeah, and the amount of stuff, the apps that people are making for them is just insane, and just the things you can do. It's hard not to use it. And then that's all going through an Earthquaker Devices Avalanche run. And also, I'm sorry, I forgot, there's the Yamaha CS, the Reface series, which is an excellent keyboard if we can have ads on this show, I think.
Oh, yeah.
They look like toys just because they have the mini keyboard and they're small and plastic, but it is not a toy by any means.
Sure. As long as we don't compel anyone to purchase
one.
I think
you don't have
safe.
to purchase. You don't have to purchase anything we talked about today, but feel free if you want to. I don't know. I keep no secrets.
Yeah.
And even let's see. I forgot what the application is called that I have running on this. Well, there's a field recorder I've been using, a field recorder app. I don't quite remember the name of, but there's also kind of a soundscape app on the iPad I'm using too.
Cool. How long have you been making this kind of music?
Since about 2005 or '06. I had started working at the Record Collector when it was on Washington Street and really got into the type of music. More so, that was just kind of crazy, and noise music was kind of blowing up then because that's when I believe Wolf Eyes got on. I don't remember the record label, but it was
I don't know.
it's a major record label, and we'll probably have that once we can look things up on the internet later on. But yes, Wolf Eyes had blown up. They had got Sub Pop.
Oh yeah,
They had gotten on Sub Pop, and so everybody's like, "Oh boy!" And a lot of noise bands were coming from Chicago and around, coming through Iowa City. That was when the Hall Mall was much more active than it is now, where you could just have a show just in the back of the Hall Mall in the main hall, and it was great except for the load-in, obviously.
Sure.
That was a nightmare, but I just kind of started from then, just got a really crappy guitar from Houseworks, another plug, and I got a delay pedal and a distortion pedal and a mixer, and just started from there, and just like...
And that was your first sort of foray into performing music?
Pretty much. I mean, I had done music. I had played clarinet in grade school, so
Okay, so you have like a band background.
A little bit, but I stopped in junior high, so I never really went anywhere from that. But once I started doing this stuff, I felt like, I mean, I had always improvised on my grandmother's air organ. She
Okay.
had one of those that she'd play,
So you were comfortable,
Amazing Grace.
You're comfortable touching a keyboard.
Yes,
at the very
yes.
least.
It was, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but they had like, the numbers in the books for those
right,
keyboards. So you go, oh, I can play the Entertainer. This is great. But I enjoyed, even on the clarinet, I hated actually playing the written music, and I would enjoy just sitting there, just kind of noodling around. So that's what
you
I
were more
enjoyed
into exploring, improvising on the instrument, finding out what was possible, I guess.
Yeah, and just if it sounds, it's all about, like everything else with music, it's what sounds the best. I don't know what sounds good, or if it's atonal and you don't want to, I don't know. It's now that another plug, if we can keep going on with the music history, I don't know if I'm.
Oh yeah,
I can't.
Whatever you want to say.
I can't tell if we're boring the audience yet.
I can't either. They're not here. So
yes, that's true.
Yeah.
We can just guess.
We never get live feedback.
Years later, after the noise stuff kind of petered out, Sam Locke Ward, who's been a singer-songwriter in town for 15 years, I don't know, has got a huge back catalog. He took a chance on me and pulled me into his band, Sam Locke Ward and the Garbage Boys, and kind of got me started on actually learning how to play keyboards, and we just kind of took it from there. And he taught me some basics. I went on the internet and looked up some YouTube videos and learned a bunch more.
Nice.
And now I can actually know what kind of music theory is, so I can apply that to this.
Yeah, you know what thirds and fifths are and all that now.
Yes, so and it's amazing. It all sounds way better.
Sure.
When you know
what's going on, you sort of
and you
gives
can
you some tools.
Yes,
yeah.
it's I can play. Yeah, these are all the notes in D minor. If I really want to be sad about stuff.
Right.
So
the saddest key. Do you mind?
the saddest. Yes.
And you play with a number of different groups here in town.
Yeah,
Would you like to recite the list?
Sure. Well, Sam Locke Ward, whenever he has a project going, and then I was in the Mouth of Radness for a little while. I play keys for them. It's
okay.
a great couple of dudes.
They're great.
I know it may be on hiatus right now just because I know Noah's out there on the road with a Seath, playing the big shows. And actually, I did a split with a Seath back in like 06, 07.
Right.
I still think there's one more copy at Record Collector, so you better get down there and pick it up.
I think I have the digital, like your half of that split. Right?
Yeah. But there's one, because it is totally out of print, so you better go run and pick it up if you love this stuff, because it's never getting repressed again, I don't think. And then after that, I got pulled into the Peanut Ricky fray, which they're full of a bunch of young up-and-comers, and it's just been kind of nuts because at one time I was in Sam's band and the In the Mouth Rat at the same time, and it was just a lot of shows and practicing, and I spread myself a little too thin, so I'm trying not to do that now, but I don't think I'm doing very well because I'm still in, my own, now that I'm doing more of my own solo stuff, which I really didn't do for a long time. But yeah, those are the few bands I'm in right now.
Great.
Oh, and also I should say the Chocolate Hog Boys. Sorry, I forgot about those. that's Brooke Strauss and Pete Ballesteri put together like an improv troupe that are playing at Trumpet Blossom. Are actually going to be playing at Gabe's on May 1st.
Do you guys have like a monthly thing?
Yes. It's at Trumpet Blossom. It's every third Tuesday. We might as well get into the plugs. Every third Tuesday at the Trumpet Blossom, we play kind of a more subdued set, and now we're going to probably start playing a more louder, weirder set at Gabe's downstairs because we don't really want to scare away the patrons of the Trumpet Blossom.
Right. I've run into that before.
Yeah. So it's
too early there. People get a little annoyed.
And they do. And it's sometimes, the jazz stuff can get a little out of hand, but you got to learn to pull it back. But hopefully, I'm sure Gabe's will let us get plenty out of hand.
Sure. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen several people get out of hand there.
Yes, that's the place to get out of hand, is at Gabe's.
Yep. So, do you want to get out of hand now? Would you like to play a little bit?
I can do that. This will probably, if you saw the RC show, you'll probably recognize some of these sounds, but I'll play some for you right now.
Awesome. Yeah, let's hear it.
Monsoon United Asian Women of Iowa serves victims and survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault in Asian and Pacific Islander communities in Iowa. Monsoon's mission is to end all forms of gender-based violence and build healthy communities through transformative justice and social change. The organization serves all 99 counties in the state of Iowa. Monsoon's programs include direct services, community outreach and education, violence prevention, and technical assistance. Monsoon has 2 offices, in Des Moines and Iowa City. All staff members are multilingual and together speak 20 languages. Monsoon services are free and confidential. For more information, visit muawi.org.
And we're back on the mic. Before that public service announcement, you heard 10 minutes or so of improvised music from my guest, Maul of America. You're listening to iHearIC Radio on KRUI, and my name's Justin. So, Phil, how did that feel for you? How was that performance?
That felt great.
Awesome.
That was pretty close. That was mainly the Korg monotron delay and the O coast and the gristalizer that you heard there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're gonna have you play again sometime so that we can get more of that. I mean, sometime in this hour.
Yes,
so
yes, that definitely. We'll get the rest of the equipment, and maybe we might have all 4 things going at once.
Yeah,
so.
that'd be great.
Yes.
So I was wondering, I mean, we don't know each other super well on a personal level, but we've been to shows at the same time and stuff like that. And something I like to talk to people about on the show is sort of what their daily life is like. So most of us here in Iowa City that are making music and doing some sort of creative endeavor are not blessed with the opportunity to do so full time.
Right.
So I was wondering, how much of your life is this? And what else are you doing to support the creation of your art?
I would say maybe right now it's about a third of the time. Outside of just band practices and shows, then I usually just work on stuff at home here and there. I do tend to listen to quite a bit of music. Outside of that, I'm really kind of hooked on the OCs right now, and I have been for about a year or 2.
Okay.
So, and I know John Dwyer, the OCs, he's expanded a lot of his noisemakers and keyboard stuff on the side. And some of the YouTube videos I've seen of their live footage, and I really kind of dig, and that kind of leads into the stuff I do with Peanut Ricky, where I will do conventional keyboards, I would say, maybe, just conventional, and kind of intermingling it with some noise stuff just to add a little extra in there to kind of make it sound odd. I mean, that was something I was doing in the Mouth of Radness too, but I didn't know that much back then. I was still pretty much an amateur doing stuff, and I wasn't as comfortable as I am now, but that's kind of where I'm kind of taking this stuff. Other than that, I just work a full-time job at the university like everyone else in town. Right. Working for the company store. That's fine. It's great. I love it. So it's nice living here. I mean, I've lived here since '99 at this point. So it's 20 years at this point. So it's nice being able to work in town and have a rich community of musicians in town, which it ebbs and flows, but there's always been a lot of stuff going on, just shows. Luckily, we have a couple music stores close by, and just a huge, there's always been a huge DIY community, and that's just ebbed and flowed like everything else, and house shows all over the place, and 6 venues in town you can play at. So it's and this too, it's really a great place to do music.
Yeah, it is a really surprisingly vibrant music scene.
Yes.
I do this show. I run a monthly concert series, so I'm pretty involved and connected. But I only know maybe, I wouldn't even know, maybe half of the people making music in Iowa City.
Yeah, I would say I probably know less than half.
It's probably less than half for me too. I was just throwing a number out there.
Yeah. I mean, between I guess if you could throw the techno folks in and all the resurgence of the kind of the I don't even know what to call the new Death Grips inspired / trans queer communities inspired hip hop stuff that's going on, and then there's the folk rock people, and then there's the youth orchestra stuff that goes on. I know that goes on out there, and then you got the Gray Area Fest that's going on. I mean, it's just there's a ridiculous amount of stuff going on. So I feel honored just to be able to take part of it, be part of it, and work with other folks who like making weird noises or conventional noises too.
Yeah, they can go together sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of taking part, you performed in Mission Creek with one of your groups.
Yes,
this year, right?
With Peanut Ricky. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
we played Mission Creek this year, and I've been lucky to be able to play like the last 3 Mission Creeks previous this. It was usually with the Sam Lockwood incarnation,
right?
And that's huge, and plus the stuff that gets brought in with Witching Hour too now,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out there, and I think people get discouraged because there's a lot of, I mean, everybody has their own little group they hang with, and I mean, how can you not? Because they're like-minded folks, but
sure.
I think there's just a lot of stuff going on, and you can really dive in, and if you want to go a different direction, you definitely can, because you'll find a show wherever you can find a show, and people will come and enjoy it. And if they don't, well, I guess you move on to something else.
Yeah. You mentioned discouragement. What do you think people are discouraged from pursuing, and why?
Well, it comes back to the small groups. It's hard to get out there and get in front of people, and like with this stuff, I realize this is really not for everyone, and people, either you love this or you hate it.
Mm-hmm.
And so this stuff's doubly hard, and it's nice being able to know how to do things and how to actually know a tiny bit of music theory, so it make it a little more palatable
Sure.
to the common man,
Right.
or more woman, or whoever as we say it, but or as I say it, it's yeah, you can get you just, I guess you just can't let that stuff get you down, because you'll always have your haters. I don't know, whatever.
It's honestly, it's difficult to even get people worked up enough to hate it a lot of the time.
and that's the double-edged sword, is there's so much that it's hard to stand out sometimes.
That's what I find discouraging.
There's
it's hard to get people to care.
Yes, and that's been a problem in this town, because everybody's jaded, and so am I. I'll be honest, but that just comes with being inundated with just the crazy variety of music and shows and just culture that comes with being in a big college town and having a great record store here too, which helps a lot. Yeah, but don't get discouraged. Just keep going. Somebody will enjoy it. Somebody will find it interesting, or if not, it's just you, and you'll just be doing it by yourself in your house.
Yeah, if you at least enjoy it, then you get something out of it, right?
Yes.
I need to do a quick weather report.
Okay.
Okay. This is the most exciting part of the show.
I can't wait.
Yeah. I have to do it at the halfway point of the hour. So here we go. It's currently 4:29, so we're a little bit early. It's currently cloudy. It's 43 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like 38 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's for sure.
We've got 0% chance of precipitation, 40% humidity, 10 mile per hour winds coming from the north. Let me turn my head to the right. It's 69 degrees Fahrenheit here in the studio. So if you happen to be in this room, it's a little bit warmer than it is outside. You may have noticed.
Yes, it is. It's great. I didn't really want to play in a really cold studio.
Yeah, it tends to be a little warm in here. Speaking of playing,
yes.
Are you ready to play again?
I think so.
Would that
I
be
think
all right?
I think I can do that. Hold on a second.
The Iowa City International Documentary Film Festival, or IC Docs, is once again coming to Iowa City April 18th through the 20th. IC Docs hopes to work collaboratively with the community surrounding us to cultivate appreciation and engagement with cinematic arts in Iowa City, and providing a welcoming and engaging environment for the film and arts community. For more information, visit icdocs.wordpress.com.
Welcome back for the last little bit of iHearIC Radio today. I'm the host. I'm Justin. I'm joined here by Phil Maul. Before that Grant spot, you heard a 10-minute or so performance by Phil. I see you involved the iPad and the preface in that one. Reface, sorry.
Yes.
Yes. And with the last few minutes we have here today, I'd like to give you the opportunity to lay down some plugs for us.
Okay.
What do you got going on?
Let me open up the plug bag here. Hold
you.
on.
I don't have a song for it.
That's okay. That's okay. I understand. I guess I should have worked on that before. Oh man, this plug bag's getting pretty big. Okay.
Chock full of plugs there.
Chock full. There's actually quite a few. So April 22nd, I will be playing with Peanut Ricky at the Egg Sack, which is a new house venue. Run by Kane Edwards of Lipstick Homicide et al. That will be, I know Zool will be playing that as well, local favorites, if I may call them that.
Yes.
And there's another band which I couldn't find immediately when I was trying to fill up the plug bag. I couldn't quite find them. So, but yes, it will be a house show. That's April 22nd. And then April 27th is a Maul of America show, part of the Feed Me Weird Things series. I believe it's number 19 with Moody Black being the touring headlining act.
Mm-hmm. That's the information I have here as well.
Yes, and that is at the Yacht Club.
Mm-hmm. Is that the first Feed Me Weird Things show at Yacht Club?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was just surprised to see that. They're usually at Trumpet Blossom.
Yes, but Yacht Club it is.
Yeah.
And then May 1st will be the first Chocolate Hog Boys, Loud and Weird, at Gabe's downstairs.
Awesome.
I believe that'll be from 7 till 9 p.m., so it will be an early,
sure,
air quotes, show. That will be free, so come on down if you'd like to hear a couple. We'll be doing basically kind of like what we do at Trumpet Blossom. We'll do 2 50-minute sets with a break in between of just who knows what.
Yeah.
And then after that, May 19th, that is, I'll be playing with Peanut Ricky again. That will be opening for Juju at the Mill.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great.
And I believe that is another Feed Me Weird Things event as well. Thank you, Chris. And then May 22nd will be another Peanut Ricky show, and that will be with Charles. I can't remember. I know he just changed the name. I know they just changed the name. It was Good Morning Midnight, but it's Charles from Good Morning Midnight's band.
Yeah, I know he's calling the backup band The Mourners.
The Mourners,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Charles Cacciatore.
That's right.
And yeah, that's all for my plug bag right now. I think that's quite enough. I better put these all back.
Yeah, you got some stuff on your calendar.
I got to put it all back in the plug bag. So.
All right, here's some other stuff going on in town. Apple Season, the play is running at Riverside Theater through the 20th, so I believe this is the last weekend you'll have a chance to see that. Tonight at Voxman, at the main concert hall at 7:30, the Center for New Music Ensemble will be performing, including a piece by my good friend Jonah Elrod. On the 19th, Pride Rock Iowa City Benefit at Trumpet Blossom at 8 p.m. On the 20th, Flash in a Pan is playing at View Rooftop at 10 p.m. On the 22nd at 7:30 at the Voxman Stark Opera Studio, a collaborative recital they're titling The Space Between, featuring soprano Annika Kildegard, dancer Alyssa Gersony, and lighting director Gabby Vanek. On the 25th at Gabe's at 8 p.m., catch a show featuring Anthony Warden and those Far Out Arrows and Hex Girls. The same night, over at the Mill, you can catch a show featuring Bad Bad Hats with Ellie H. The next day, the 26th at 8 p.m., 3-0 will be playing at Sanctuary Pub. On the 27th, Brad and the Big Wave are having an album release show at the Mill, which begins at 8 p.m. And then the most self-serving and important plug of all.
Here it comes.
The final iHearIC concert of the spring 2019 season will be at Uptown Bill's on May 4th, beginning at 7 p.m.
Nice.
There we go. And by the way, where can people find some of your music, Phil?
They can find it at maulofamerica.bandcamp.com.
And that's MAUL for the spelling.
OFAMERICA.
You got it.
.bandcamp. Did I spell America right, America?
You got it. Yep.
Thank you.
I was paying close attention just to make sure.
That's basically it. And obviously, there's some stuff. There's some Sam Lockwood stuff I've played on new Peanut Ricky tracks, which we're recording right now at Sad Dad Studios. That is a JL from Zool's studio.
Nice. Recording
studio in town. That's coming along nicely. So watch out for that one. And hopefully, maybe I'll actually go through my back catalog of garbage from 15 years and release more stuff than I already have up there on the Bandcamp right now, because I've got stuff just sitting on the computer that's you go back and listen to and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that, or I don't remember doing that at all. Like, I have no recollection of this. Where did this come from? Okay, well, sounds good. Anyhow, so
yeah. Hey, if you like the show today and you want to find more of the iHearIC stuff, we have a website, iHearIC.com. It's IHEARIC.com. Links to our Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Patreon pages on that website. Every episode of this radio show is uploaded to the internet. You can listen to the podcast on all of the major platforms, iTunes, Google Play, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all that stuff. If you look at the episode description, you can find links to all of the artists' profiles everywhere that I can find them. And if you are a musician or artist of some kind and you would like to get in touch, the best way to reach us is via email, ihearic@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. That's how things happen. So I want to close out the show with a recording I have from your discography. And I was eyeing this piece here called No More Mr. Goodwrench, just from your album Placeholder.
Yeah.
Is that a good one to close with?
Sure.
Okay. All right, before I start that up, thanks again to Phil Maul for joining me in the studio today.
Thank you again for having me here.
And thank you to everyone out there listening. I hope you all have a good week. I will try to do so.
I will try to.
All right,
or maybe not.
I'm going to try this time.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, here's No More Mr. Goodwrench by Maul of America. And stay tuned for the next radio show starting at 5. It's called History Overlooked.